What's up, people? It's ABFX, and you're welcome back to my channel. So, guys, in this video, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the trades I took, and I'm also going to run you through my strategy, just so you know what I'm looking out for. So, let's see. So, before I show you the trades, let me just show you what it is that I trade, what it is that is my strategy. So, this right here is what I always look out for. So, the first thing I'm looking out for is for the sweep price to take out a high. The next thing, I want to see it break the low, form a new low like this. Then, usually, there will be an incomplete pullback like this. And then, I'll wait for price to form another low, then come back to sweep the pullback. So, my entry will be at this protected high, and my stop loss will be below. So, something like this. My stop loss will be right here. I'm going to be targeting the previous low that was created. So, this is what I look for before I take a trade. The next, it can happen in different ways. It can be in different forms, like it can present itself in different ways. Another way you can see this thing present itself is like this. You could have it like this. You get a sweep. Price comes before it creates a new low. It gives you an area of liquidity, creates a new low, comes back, sweeps it, and then like this. So we have the liquidity graph here. Price gives you an area of structural liquidity and then comes back after creating the low. Before creating the low, it gives you the liquidity. Then it comes back to take it out. So your entry will still be at this high here, protected high here. Targeting the lows. Yes. So you can either target this low for your take profit or anywhere below, like down here, depending on what the price action is saying, right? So this right here is what I trade. This right here is my strategy. This right here is my strategy. Now, this strategy, honestly, this strategy is very, very popular in the Forex market. Like, I see a lot of people trading it. I see a lot of traders trading it. And in fact, the reason why I decided to stick with this strategy is because I've seen a lot of traders that have been making it in the market. And they've been trading this for a very long time. Like, I'm talking of 3 years now, 4 years now. So I'm like, why not? Why not stick to this? So this is the only thing I'm trading in the market. This is the only thing I'm looking out for. And this is the only thing I want to trade for the whole of 2025. So I just want to stick to one strategy, stick to taking fewer trades, 2 to 3 trades at most in a week, and then stick to risk management. And boom, that's virtually everything you need, guys. That's all you need. So let me explain the strategy before I move on to, show you examples with the trade that I took this week. So what you want to be looking out for in this strategy, number one, is structure. You want to be following structure. That's the first thing. Number two, the next thing you'll be looking out for. Number one is structure. Number two, you look at liquidity, you follow liquidity. Where is the liquidity? And then number three, you look for POI or area of interest. So point of interest. That's all. So these are just the three things you're going to be looking out for in this strategy, right? These are the three things you'll be looking out for in this strategy. So the first thing is you want to ascertain what is the structure, what is the structure of the market in general. Is the market bullish or bearish? How is the market moving? Is it forming lower lows and lower highs, or higher highs and higher lows? You get? So once you get the structure, it tends to now give you the direction you should be focusing on. If the market is bearish, then you're looking for bearish opportunities. You're looking for this whole, pattern, this whole thing on in a bearish move. You're looking for this whole thing to sell. So it's usually easier when you just follow the trend. You cannot be looking to sell like this when the market is bullish, it's moving upwards. You're most likely going to hit SL, right? So there's a higher chance of this whole thing playing out when you're trying to sell a bearish market structure. You get? And vice versa for bullish. If you're trying to buy, let me quickly draw how a bullish structure will look like. So for a bullish, you have something like this. So for a bullish, you have something like this, right? So market sweeps liquidity. I don't think I drew it correctly, but you just know that market took out liquidity here, right? And then it broke structure to the upside. No, let me draw this thing right. So this is it, right? So the first thing you want to look out for is an area where price took out liquidity and then give you structural liquidity right here. Right? Then you enter at this point. This is the protected low for you to put your entry. Like this. So this is how it looks for the bullish, right? This is how it looks for the bullish. Anyways, let's continue. So first thing you want to look for is the market structure. Where is the market heading to? Bearish or bullish? If the market is bearish, you're looking for sales. If the market is bullish, you're looking for buys, right? The next thing you want to look for is for liquidity. You want to see that price took out liquidity before changing structure, before shifting to the downside. So right here, price took out liquidity here and then give us this structural shift to the downside. So what then it means is that when the bearish trend, price came up, grabbed liquidity, and it is now back down, showing that it wants to continue down, right? Then the next thing is you want to look for, areas of inducement or liquidity that will serve as a potential area for you to enter. So you want to see price first give us this fake move, right? First give us this move as if it wants to go up, and then it comes back down to continue the bearish move. Then you know that if anything that brings price back into this area of interest, this point of interest that I've marked out, is going to be your sell. It's going to be your very perfect sell opportunity, right? So this is the pattern you should always be looking out for. It can happen like this or it happens like this, whereby there's a liquidity sweep before price changes structure or gives you a change of character to the downside. It first gives you the inducement. It gives you the inducement right here, then changes character. So what next you'll be looking for is for where you're going to get your point of interest right here, and you enter. So let's look for examples. Let me show you the trades that I took, and then we analyze it and see how far. So what did I take during the week? NZDJPY. So let's look at NZDJPY. This was the first trade I took, NZDJPY. So an NZDJPY ended as a break-even trade. And that was one of the reasons why I just told you that it's best to look for sells in bearish structure and buys in bullish structure. So looking at NZDJPY that I took, the market is at the current phase, the market is bearish, right? We know that it has been moving up at this point, but then having seen this strong bearish movement, you can see that the market is in a bit of a bearish state right now. So if you go to 4 hours, this is what I saw. We got a liquidity sweep right here, right? After the liquidity sweep, what happened? This is the point where you're supposed to be looking for the change of character, right? This point right here. Price did come, but it didn't break this level. Came back and gave us this inducement. It gave us the structural liquidity we're looking for. Give us the liquidity we're looking for before our entry. Then it now came back up and broke structure to give us the change of character to the upside here. Hence, I looked for an area of interest where I want to take the buy. And this was my area of interest. You can target this other block right here or whatever it is you see that gives you a valid area of interest. And I took my entry here. So as price came in here, we saw that push to the upside. Give us about 1.5 hour, but I was holding. I wanted to get a 3 hour. And I put my SL at break even. Price came all the way here and then it reversed back to our entry and took us out at break even. So that was how I got out on this trade at break even. So this was one of the trade I took, right? Now, the next example was, I think Euro CHF or so. So this was the next trade that I took, right? So what did I see? First of all, to ascertain the structure of the market. What is the market structure, the current market structure? Now, in this one, you can see that if you look at the bigger picture on the daily, you see the market is just there, right? It's kind of in a range, but let's go to the 4 hour. So you can like determine the market structure based off on different time frames, right? The bigger time frame will give you like the larger picture, but you can still come down to the lower time frames, to tell you what the market structure is saying. So on this time frame, on the 4 hour, what I saw was that first of all, market gave us this sweep right here. Market gave us this sweep on the 4 hour, and then it gave us this shift, this change of character, right? So yes, we have been, going up and down, giving us higher highs and higher lows. You see a low here, a high, a low, a higher high, like that, like that. But then when it got to this point, it printed a high at this level, but then it now printed a lower low, right? So it took out the liquidity and printed a lower low. So I now knew that the market structure has kind of changed for us to see some bearish move, right? So after I got this change, the next thing I looked out for again, what at this level, price came, took out this high, and then instead of giving us a higher low, it printed another lower low right here. It still came further to print a lower low right here. So the moment I saw this, I knew that, okay, price is still giving us some bearish move. So this was an entry that one could have taken and made money. Sweep of the liquidity, shift of the market structure, and this could have been your entry, right? So I didn't see this when it happened. If not, this could have been an entry. You put your entry here, stop loss above here, with your TP right here. Well, like nice 124, right? But I didn't catch this move. So what then did I see? When I noticed that this move had left me, I still was looking at this pair because, I mean, it gave us another low below here. So there's still that likelihood that we can still see some bearish movement, right? So what then did I now look for? I went to the 1 hour time frame. And then I studied this pattern right here. And this pattern gave me my entry pattern or my strategy. This was the sweep right here. We got a sweep here, and then we got a change of character right here. Then this is the liquidity that I used for my entry. So this was the change of character, right? This was the liquidity. This was the sweep. So I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. So the structure is bearish at the moment. Then we got a sweep here. Price after sweeping came down to change character below here, and then came back up to take out this inducement or liquidity. You can call it from the this strategy is actually a strategy that I've learned from DAX, and he calls this structural liquidity. Structural liquidity. So you can as well, I can as well call it structural liquidity. So what then did I do? I put my entry right on the structural liquidity, and I put my stop loss at this high. I was, just wanted to have a wide stop loss. So I put it at this high. And then price came, figured, and boom, straight into profit. About 1 to 2 hour. I closed this straight at 1 to 2. Now, if I was, a bit stingy and I put my a bit like risky and I put my stop loss right at this high here, I will have caught 1 to 4. But then I just didn't want to take the chance. I put my stop loss here. And then price immediately, see how it shut down with serious force, right? So this was like the second trade I took during the week. Euro, uh, Euro AUD. So aside from Euro AUD, I took another trade which was in profit. That was AUD CHF. AUD CHF. Now this is AUD CHF. Let's break it down. So on the 4 hour, what did I see? I saw that market, has been bearish. High, low, high, lower high, lower low, like that, printing lower lows, right? So I was expecting price to give us some bearish, momentum, bearish movement. So the next thing that made me interested in this market was, if you look closely here, you see that price came and took out this high. Even though it's not much, but it took out this high, and this will qualify as a liquidity sweep to me. So after I took out the high, what then did we see? We saw a very strong push to the downside that took out this low. So we have a sweep of liquidity here, and we have a change of character here. So if you have a sweep of liquidity and a change of character, what then is the next thing? You want price to come back to an area of interest. And another important thing that I should note is that your point of interest, if you want to sell, must be at a premium level, right? So you don't want to have a point of interest. You're trying to sell this market and prices around this level. No, it's not right. You're going to most likely make a loss. So your area of interest where you should want to sell should be at the premium. That's above the 0.5 right here. So as you can see, price is currently above at the premium area. So this is a good place to look for a sell, isn't it? Right? So that's another confluence. The next thing that I looked for again was that I saw that price came back to this area. This right now is our area of supply, right? And then it gave us a sell-off. The sell-off self is such that we have a liquidity sweep. This is a liquidity sweep right here, right? We have a liquidity sweep here, and then another change of character to the downside. So making me have more confidence. So when I saw this, the next thing I was looking for was for another sell opportunity. So the next thing I did was, we have the liquidity sweep here, we have the change of character to downside. I was looking for my structural liquidity. And if you come to the 2 hours, you will see that we have a structural liquidity at this point, C1, 2. So I maxed it out, and then I put my entry at this point, put my stop loss at the high here. And then I was targeting all the way down here. But honestly, price triggered me and started moving down slowly, very, very slowly. So I decided to just close my position at this low right here. So I had a 1 to 1.5, 1.6 or thereabout on this particular trade. So that was how I was able to catch 2 trades this week with this simple strategy. So guys, it's a strategy you can, backtest, refine, continue studying, and then we'll see how it goes, right? If you study this strategy consistently every week, focus on taking this strategy, you're definitely going to be profitable. You're definitely going to be profitable. So I hope you got value from this video, guys. I will continue making videos on this strategy, giving you guys the different shades, different ways you can trade it, and then we'll see how it goes, guys. So cheers and God bless, guys.